I love coming to Israel. I love learning new things. And we've come back to Caesarea. It's right on the coast of the Mediterranean. What a beautiful day this one is. In the ancient world, Herod the Great, Herod of the Christmas story, Herod decided to build a city here because he wanted a place for ships to dock when they came from Italy, when they came from Greece or Turkey. And so he built the city, he built the port, the man-made port, and he also obviously had to design a way to get fresh water into the city for all the people who would live here. He wanted fresh water for his swimming pool that jutted out into the ocean. Herod always had a swimming pool wherever he was. So we've come out to the edge of the city. We're right by the northern wall. And even here you can see part of the aqueduct system that once fed water into this city. Now when you see these ruins, remember there's layer after layer after layer of civilization. This particular aqueduct was built about 100 years after Jesus lived by Hadrian. But it's amazing the technology you can see, the way they figured out how to be here. Now, as always, I want to try to tie in some Bible stories to this particular location and maybe even a life lesson from it. And I can't think of a better life lesson than the fact that Paul was held prisoner here at Caesarea. And there's one little verse in the book of Acts that just says, and he remained in prison for 2 years. He was just waiting on a trial. It was such an unfair situation. And Paul must have been very, very frustrated by the fact that here he is in prison and he could have been out there, he could have been taking another ship to another location somewhere out there on the Mediterranean and somewhere in southern Turkey or in Cyprus or in Greece and starting another church. He started so many churches, influenced thousands of people. So what good could come out of being held prisoner here in Caesarea for 2 years with nothing to do? Well, one of the things that started happening when Paul was in prison, maybe he felt like he had to do something. He began to formulate his theology, and he also began to write letters to those earliest Christians. And those letters became part of the New Testament. And so I got a feeling that Paul never saw any sense in him being held prisoner here or anywhere else. And yet because of those letters and because of that incredible deep thinking that brilliant man had, you see, Paul influenced not a few thousand people or even tens of thousands of people. He influenced billions of people. And here we are 2,000 years later still reading what he wrote, sometimes changing the way we live because of what he wrote. And you take it back one more step, because he was held prisoner at Caesarea and in some other locations. I'm telling you, what he wrote to the Romans is true in your life today too. It's true in my life, that God is able to bring good out of every situation for those who love him and who are called according to his purposes. That's a life lesson for you, for me, for today, and for the rest of our lives.